Know that we talked earlier in this conversation about the national security concerns regarding data, but there were other national security concerns. Some were concerned that the Chinese government could control the algorithm and spew propaganda or try to influence U.S. elections at all. Do you have any national security concerns right now after you've seen the news about this new U.S. entity?
I think the concerns were always legitimate, and this is an app very specifically that had a lot of congressional attention. The Biden administration and the Trump administration made multiple attempts to figure out what to do with it, whether it was shutting it down or spin it off. And I don't have any inside information. I just know it was publicly reported, but I think there was a reason why it got so much attention, whether that was their responses in the congressional hearings, or maybe they did track some people. But I don't think that the concerns were unrealistic, basically. So I think those are legitimate concerns. I will also tell you, um, I don't know how different the data grants are for TikTok versus all the other social medias. I don't think they actually are all that different at the end of the day. I think younger people are willing to give more and more of their data and their privacy away to be part of these social forums. And so it's a real mixed set of circumstances for me on it. But I think it's positive that they figured out a structure, and hopefully the algorithm will be accurate and it'll still be fun for all the youth, because I don't think anyone wants to see it go away.
And then my last question to you is, what do you think is A, either missing from this conversation, or B, what specifically are you looking out for next when it comes to seeing what comes of this new TikTok deal?
Missing from the conversation, I think, is just the concern. I mean, the real thing that I would say is, TikTok's been actually a very positive force for a lot of industries. There's a lot of people who rely on it, whether they're influencers, or I know the TikTok enterprise as a business to support all sorts of small business enterprises. I also know it to be an emerging power in areas like media and entertainment that I work, as well as in advertising. And I think that has been a little bit underplayed given all these concerns that have come out politically for it. Maybe a little bit unfairly, maybe not. So I think that's the biggest thing, is that you have here something that a billion people are on around the world, basically, and there's a very positive aspect for younger generations, whether they use it for political or social expression, and every person can get on it. And I think that's probably the biggest thing to kind of keep in mind around, all this corporate governance stuff that's going on, that may, at the end of the day, may not make any much of a difference. So
And yeah, I mean, over 200 million Americans are users on TikTok. I mean, that's just such a huge, huge number. And especially when you think of that's how a lot of Americans are getting their news. But Seth, I really appreciate you joining the conversation. Thank you so much for coming on. You're welcome back anytime.
thanks a lot, Brittany. Great to be here.